Hello, everybody. Welcome to Moneyline Media. We have an awesome interview lineup for you tonight. I will be by myself for the first couple interviews. James got stuck, but we are going to be joined by Long Snapper of Alcorn State, one of the highest rated long snappers in the NFL 2021 draft, Colten Menges, and he will be joining us right now.
Hi, how's it going?
How you doing, Colten?
Good. How about you?
Good. I like your gear. You got the NFLPA bowl gear on. I like it.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Before we get anywhere, before we go anywhere, I want to start with how did you get your start in football and how did you become a long snapper? Because it's such an interesting position, and I always wonder how someone becomes a long snapper.
Yeah. So in high school, my high school team didn't have a long snapper, and so I played both sides of the ball, but I wanted to compete a little bit more, and so my dad's like, hey, you got to start long snapping, and I was like, I guess, and practiced a little bit and just got good enough just to get the job done. But I more saw it as a chance to run downfield and blow somebody up and
play. Yeah,
a little bit better, but.
Awesome. So I know you had an interesting kind of journey to Alcorn State. Could you just tell people, tell everyone that's listening a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I started out going D3, and my dad was military, so I played high school ball in England, and that was really, really hard to get recruited out of.
I can imagine. That's crazy.
Definitely. College coaches were just saying, we don't know who you're playing, and you're a big kid, but sorry, we're gonna have to choose somebody else. And so I ended up going D3 and didn't like it there. Went to the JUCO route, went to Blinn, had some opportunities at schools, and then Alcorn hit me up and ended up taking a visit over there. Loved it, and took my offer and didn't look back. So
if you could describe your career with Alcorn in one word, how would you describe it?
I got a lot of words in my mind.
Go ahead. All of them you could say.
I would just say a blessing, amazing, very fortunate. It was just a great opportunity.
Now, I know you have gotten the chance to play in a couple of the bowls. I know Tropical Bowl. I know you were in Hawaii, which is awesome. What were those bowls like for you?
I think my favorite was the Hula Bowl, just because it's in Hawaii.
Yeah.
My hotel room, the view was on the beach, so that was incredible. But I think all of them was, just outstanding opportunity. I mean, the chance to get to compete in front of scouts and have them watch you, and especially like a position like mine where consistency is extremely important. For me to show that I can do that, I think that's really big. And I think that's priceless. So
yeah, that's definitely awesome. Did it kind of feel like a little bit of, I don't want to say retribution, but like you're now competing against some of these Division I guys that when you were in England you didn't really get the chance to see them. You were kind of getting written off. Was that kind of like a added bonus now to like see that you're in one of these big games against some of these big Division I players?
I would say no, just because I grew up wrestling my whole life. And so I grew up going to national tournaments and competing against these kids that the best in their country at their weight. And so I grew up doing all that stuff. So when I got to the Division I level, it wasn't I was already used to it. So
gotcha. So I know everyone kind of got their chance to go back this year due to COVID. They got an extra year of eligibility. What went into your decision to officially declare for the draft?
So the 2019 SWAC conference game, I had torn my right ACL, and so I was still recovering from that. And then the COVID stuff set in. Ended up getting the season taken away. So I saw it as more of a blessing than anything, so I could be able to recover completely. And I'm glad that's finally over. That was quite frustrating, but I'm back to normal now, so that's all good. And, I just, I'm the biggest in this class in my position. And
Yeah.
I was ranked highly and, I was starting to get invites and stuff. And, especially with, people are staying to play that extra year. So the draft pool is much smaller than normal, from these guys to choose from. So I think that was one of the biggest things for me to, to go ahead and take my shot.
And how was recovery during COVID? I know that like everyone kind of, a lot of the guys we asked how practicing was during COVID, but I couldn't even imagine recovering and going to physical therapy. What was that like during the pandemic?
Surprisingly, it wasn't bad. The physical therapy that I had gotten was really solid, and I guess really the only thing that was different than if it was any other year is I had to wear a mask.
Right.
So other than that, I think it was pretty smooth, to be honest. I had really a really good trainer, and I was able to get back in shape pretty good.
So you bring up that you were a wrestler too. How'd you get into wrestling and do you miss it?
Oh, I absolutely miss it. It's incredible sport. So my dad had suggested that me and my brother actually get him gymnastics when we were young, because it's really helpful with sports.
Right.
And we did not want to do that. And so, we're like, that's for girls. And so he suggested wrestling. And, that after that first year, I couldn't stop doing it. And, after the first, big tournament that I had, I think I did pretty well, and I fell in love with it, and I've never stopped. And, until my senior year of high school, I went to Europeans there. It's essentially state, just over in Europe, and ended up winning that my senior year. So I think that was a good way to end my wrestling career.
Definitely. We actually had a guy on, Mike Carney, is an all-pro fullback from the Saints in like the 2000s, and he said the toughest guys to block against are guys who were wrestlers. Do you feel that too? Like, do you feel like it gives you an edge when you're blocking or going downfield and trying to tackle someone?
Absolutely. Wrestling, if you want to be, a great wrestler, you're forced to be able to understand your body and how to use it, mainly your hips. And so, running downfield, I'm able to control myself and put myself in an athletic position to be able to put that returner in an uncomfortable spot and pin him in the sideline. And, if I can get the tackle, solo, that's awesome. But, that's not always my goal every play. It's more as how can I disrupt this returner as much as possible, so either I or my teammates can put a stop to him.
You are a pretty highly recruited, highly rated long snapper, like one of the highest in your class. How awesome is that for you? And again, I got to bring up that you started out of D3 and now you are in the 2021 NFL draft, one of the highest rated long snappers. Do you ever just look back and go, wow, I have come so far?
Absolutely, 100% for sure. I think it's great. I've put a lot of work into it. Not just these last couple of years, but being drafted, or if not, being on an NFL team is something that I've always wanted to do in my life. So even going back when I was young, just training for wrestling and training for football and stuff has all led up to being able to be in this position that I'm in. And so in like the least cocky way, I guess you could say, is I'm not surprised in myself. I'm glad I'm in this position. So I think it's been really good.
If you could go back and give your younger self just any advice, as you're getting, as you're going through your recruiting process, and you said you kind of got denied from, places that said that they weren't going to take you. What advice would you give yourself?
I would say start with JUCO.
Start
If
with
you're
you.
not comfortable, go JUCO. I know JUCOs can be scary. It's
Right.
sort of like a high school in terms of being recruited athletically. But I would say go JUCO. There's a lot of opportunities in there. You're playing against college kids. Even as a fresh high school or fresh coming out of high school, if you can show your worth, and it's tough as a high schooler. Sometimes you just don't play in a good high school to these big names and stuff. So if you have to go JUCO, make a name for yourself and go from there.
Do you feel you bring up JUCO, and I know I've spoken to a bunch of guys who have either had issues in the past and then they ended up going to JUCO, and they said it completely changed their life. You really are like an advocate kind of for it for someone who might have maybe missed their opportunity, but they can get it back.
I would say, I don't know. um, I don't know. I guess yes. I mean, these kids coming in, like, I guess I am a good example, but you know, if things are wrong, and like even some kids, they're just super dominant in high school, and they just get overlooked.
Yeah.
You know, it happens. So, you know, I guess just pray on it, and you know, if you're meant to play at a high level, if you're meant to go NFL or, you know, whatever sport that is, you know, God's going to put you in that right spot. So,
Gotcha.
do what he says, I guess, you know, whatever the path is.
Right. You are a 4.0 student. Do you feel like that comes in handy when you're playing, especially as at a long snapper position?
Yes, I think it does. Just because it shows, you know, that, you know, hey, this kid's willing to put in the time outside of sports, and show that, you know, he can be reliable, he can be a responsible adult, and get the job done, whatever it may be. And I also think it shows that, you know, hey, you know, this kid's a winner, you know,
Sure.
regardless of what he's doing in life.
Sure.
So I think that's one of the big things that motivated me to do well in school. Was to show that I'm not only, you know, well on the field, I can take care of responsibilities off the field as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Do you have a long snapper, and I think I know the answer to this, a long snapper that you kind of model your game after?
I do. He plays for the Colts. His name's
Yep.
Zeke Rhodes. He's a freak.
Yeah, he is. He is.
He's an animal. Yeah, you know, I'd heard about him a little bit, but he trains with my snapping coach, Kyle Stelter, a special teams U, and that's really how I kind of got to know him a little bit. And I had talked to him briefly through social media, but you know, just watching him, and I mean, if you see his physique, I mean, he's a freak.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely Luke.
Do you have someone that like you dream of long snapping for? Like, if any punter or kicker you could long snap for, who would it be?
Well, I guess first I'll start with the team. I'd say Cowboys, definitely.
Did you grow up Cowboys fan?
Yes, I did. So I'd love to stay in the state of Texas. You know, the Cowboys are Houston, but if not, you know, a team won't want to get rid of me. So we'll see where that is. But I would say punter. I don't know. I mean, that's a tough choice, I could say. I can't, for some reason, I can't think of his name. He punted for the Raiders. He's super fast.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about. Marquette King, right?
Yeah,
Marquette King. Yep.
Yes, that guy. He's an athlete.
He is. He is. He's a freak too. Any kickers?
I don't know. I'd say no.
No. Any kicker would be lucky to have you. Just watching your film and stuff, they'd be very lucky to have you as the long snapper. For an NFL team that drafts you, what are they getting?
They're getting somebody who is able to be a threat downfield. I think my biggest philosophy is, you know, any great snapper can, you know, get the ball back there efficiently and well. And but I think with my size, I can block better than anybody coming in this class. You know, and being a threat downfield is something that a lot of snappers don't bring to the field. You know, and I think I do that very well. I think I did that the best in the country in 2019. You know, I didn't get to showcase it 2020 because my season was removed. But I you know, I had many solo tackles, a few assists. I mean, I'm a threat downfield, and I'm gonna stop that punch or that returner better than anybody. So
yeah, that definitely comes in handy because there's a lot of good returners in the game. Any returner that you're looking forward to maybe stacking up against, tackling them?
There is one. He went to Southern Miss, and I'm not sure where he landed. But his name is Adams. He was a returner there, and it was my first Division I game. and he had made a move on me and embarrassed me a little bit, and I kind of want my revenge.
Okay. A revenge tour.
Yeah, I hope that me and him, come across each other one day, and I can make it up.
Return the favor. Return the favor. Awesome. What are you working on this off season?
I would say physique is a big thing. I've got a good size and height, weight, and stuff, but in terms of being like physically ready, I think that's really important. Not only just training a lot, but doing it correctly as well is really important. My diet has been pretty well, so I think that's good. And obviously, I'm snapping frequently and making sure that I've got my blocking technique, figured out, and just making sure that I prepare myself. So when I do get that opportunity, these guys aren't going to be like, who is this guy? I thought he was better, kind of thing. So I really want to impress people when I get that shot.
Awesome. All right, so we played this game with all of our guests, and you are no exception. We will be playing Steady Fire. It is like kind of just random questions. Some might have to do with football. Some might have to not do with football. They're fun questions, though. So I'll start with, what is your favorite home-cooked meal?
Wings.
Wings, okay.
If we can do wings, absolutely.
Awesome. If you had a superpower, what superpower would you want?
Super fast.
Super fast. That would help with those returners.
Yes, it
would. Awesome. Say you lost every single one of your college games at Alcorn State, but you beat one team. You played one team every year, and you beat them, and you killed them. What team would you want that to be?
UT, Texas.
Is that because you're from Texas? Like,
I grew up in Aggie, so.
Oh, okay. So the Longhorns, also awesome game. I heard that's the best stadium to play at is the UT stadium. Any other teams on that list? I'll give you another team.
Yeah, I'd love to play against Texas A&M. We had gotten scheduled Auburn in the SEC, and we were really close to getting scheduled to them, but I want to play them because I'd love to play in Kyle Field. I've been there and watched, but never played, so it'd be fun.
Favorite Aggie growing up? Do you have one?
I don't know. I mean, like Johnny Manziel was really well, and he ended up that whole story, which we won't get into, but yeah. I think he was fantastic. But Ryan Tannehill was really fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely someone that kind of made his way up to in the NFL, which is great to see. You rooted for the Cowboys. Was there any team that you rooted against when you watched the NFL, or?
I don't know. I would say a little bit, kind of Houston a little bit, just because they're in the same state. Gotcha. So, whoever they played, I was just like, come on, be Houston. Like,
favorite city that you've gotten to visit?
Honolulu.
Honolulu.
That was cool.
What were you guys like able to do there? I know there was a couple of things that you guys couldn't do because of COVID, but what were you able to do there?
So we went to the beach a few times. We were able to, tour around and see all the shops and all that good stuff. And I think that was really cool and able to see that culture, and see how those guys live around there. So
awesome. Who was your favorite guy to get to know while you were down there?
I think my roommate, he was a pretty cool guy. He's an O lineman for FIU.
Okay.
So he had, some decent stock in his draft. So I hope he gets picked up somewhere, drafted or not. I think he was a really cool guy, and I got to meet him and kind of get his story a little bit. So
who was the toughest guy to block against down there?
I don't know. I didn't really do much blocking in hula. It was
okay.
Yeah, it was just free release, and so I'd snap.
Yeah, okay.
And, with the safety protocols and stuff.
Gotcha. Where was your favorite place that you've gotten, like favorite stadium that you've gotten to play in your college career?
Southern Miss. That was the. It wasn't big compared to these Power 5 schools, but I think there was like 33,000 people there. And so I think that was the biggest environment that I've played in.
Okay, cool. Um, what was your favorite jersey that you've gotten to wear in your college career?
Oh, the hula bowl.
The hula bowl, yeah.
Yeah, it was super cool. I mean, I absolutely love my Alcorn jersey,
Yeah.
representing my college, but it had my last name on the hula one. And just being that, that bowl game title was really sweet.
Did you have any? I know a lot of the guys had the stickers. What stickers did you have on your helmet? Because it was very confusing to watch. Because there's a couple guys that like we've interviewed and that are awesome guys like Ethan Tucky and tons of them, and we were looking for them, but I couldn't tell because I was looking via their helmet and they had 17 different stickers on, so it was a little
Uh,
tough.
I
What's
think I had everybody. I went around and got everyone's. I
uh,
mean, the FIU, South Alabama, New Mexico,
gosh?
Navy. I mean, I don't know. I was going for the put on as many stickers as possible.
Which
So,
was your favorite sticker that you got?
um, I don't know. I think the Navy one's really cool just
Yeah, that
because,
is.
the military.
Yeah,
I wanted to get the Air Force one there, but he had unfortunately ran out of stickers but
gotcha.
for sure.
Awesome. I'm sure your dad liked the Navy. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Do you have a favorite non football professional athlete?
Mm, his name's Colin Palmer. He's a wrestler. He's a really good athlete, and I think growing up I had watched him and sort of tried to be that guy. So I think that was really good.
Awesome. If you didn't play long snapper, what position would you play in football?
So I had started high school as a D end and middle linebacker. Then I went D3 as a D end, and then I played tight end and JUCO. So I don't know. I think tight end is fun, running and blocking and catching
Yeah.
the ball and stuff. But I love to hit people. I know it's I'd say D end.
If you were a D end, who would be your dream person to sack in the NFL?
Oh man, Tom Brady.
Yep, that's
I love
that's
him, but I can't stand him.
yep, yep. That's the perfect answer. I wouldn't expect. And okay, so we'll put now tight end. Who would you like to lay out blocking as a tight end? Who would you want a pancake?
Well, I had gone, through high school watching Miles Garrett.
Yes.
I mean, he's just an animal. But I don't think I would really, have a chance. But I'd say him.
Awesome. You grew up a Cowboys fan. What was your favorite Cowboys jersey? Like, what color jersey combo did you like that they had?
I love the blue one.
Yeah, that one is sick. With
That
like
one.
the stars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are good
Definitely.
ones. Those are good ones. Favorite Cowboys player growing up?
I don't know. I think Romo was pretty fun to watch, and now he's
Yep.
doing he's commentating now. But I mean, Romo was really good. I don't know. I mean, I know that's very, I guess, an obvious pick.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes the obvious pick is the right pick.
For sure.
Okay, I'm gonna play Desert Island with you. You're stuck on our desert island. You can bring a book, a movie, and I'll do movie and a TV show. So, book, movie, TV show. What are you bringing?
Movie is Happy Gilmore. I've seen that
Good.
movie 100,000 times.
Great
Books,
pick.
I don't like reading, to be honest, so I won't be reading any books.
Yeah. You might need one to like start a fire though. That's what like
That's true.
because it's usually the guy that I usually do this with. He's stuck at work, but he always asks the book one, and I think the same thing. I don't read, but I'm like, oh, I would probably bring like the Da Vinci Code or something that's super long that I could just put in the fire.
That's I would say show is I'd say probably South Park.
Okay.
I could watch that all day.
Oh, okay. So are you a Family Guy person too?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Family Guy, Bob's Burgers.
Somewhat. If it's on, I'll watch it, but it's not something I really put on.
So
But
you're
it's
like
good.
you're into the animated. I like that. Favorite animated character then?
Um, I don't know. I think there's like I'd say Stewie maybe, or
Yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of a tie between Stewie and Cartman.
gotcha. Okay, awesome. If you weren't going to be a professional football player, what would your career be?
So I would love to, hopefully after my football career is long, or if that never happened, my dad is in a company. He pretty much does the same job he did in the military with fuel lines and stuff. But I'd love to, kind of get my foot in the door with that and be able to, be a part of that. And I think that would be really good.
Awesome. Who is your craziest fan? I got to be someone in your family who
Oh,
when they're
my mom.
watching your mom when they're
Mine's
watching the game, yep, that's your mom.
Yeah, so there's a video, when I'm playing on TV, my parents always record my plays, and it was a play against Prairie View, and I had, helped force the fumble on the punt, and my mom is just screaming, I I don't even know, she's just blowing up. It's awesome.
That is awesome. Is
Mhm.
your dad more of the calm one?
Absolutely, for sure. Yeah, he's really calm and collected, and um, they're totally opposite, but I think they do well together. So,
Obviously, they created you. That's fantastic. If I gave you $1 million, but I only gave you a half hour to spend it, how are you spending that $1 million?
investing right away,
Anything in
100%.
particular?
Um, I don't know. I would put some in my 401, and I think I would invest some in this new Dogecoin that they're talking about.
Yes, Dogecoin to the moon. Yes, I
So
agree. I
we'll
always said
see.
that too. I say another one. I'm like Bitcoin or something like that, something in the crypto. All right, one last question for you. We talked about what teams are going to get from you. What are fans going to get from you for the team that drafts you or signs you or whatever team you end up on?
Um, Punt is going to be something to actually want to watch.
Awesome.
So
Perfect.
yeah, I think that'd be good. Punt seems to be the more of, I guess even in practice, we're doing punt and people are just like not even paying attention because people don't like it. So
See, I'm a big punter kicker fan. So I enjoy watching the punts. Like I love kickers. Pat McAfee is probably one of my favorite athletes of all time. So I'm excited to see what you also bring to the punt because it could obviously get more exciting. But yes,
definitely for sure.
awesome. Colton, thank you so much for joining us. I can't wait to have you back on once you're officially in the NFL, and we'll be rooting for you the whole time during the draft. Thanks so much, man.
Thank you so much for having me. I really, truly appreciate it.
All right, have a good one.
Yep. You take care. See ya.
Bye. That was Colten Menges. He is great. He's an amazing long snapper, one of the highest rated in the NFL draft. We will be back with more after this.